In the newly reformed criminal justice system, the jury has been removed from the courtroom. Due to a spike in criminal activity, trials last no more than 3 days, and the burden of proof has been placed on the defense. Defendants rarely go free, and many prosecutors are only interested in maintaining a perfect guilty record. But some men and women still seek the truth. These are their stories.
Let's see here. 9:20. 9:20? Oh no! Oh, okay. Alright, pull yourself together. You can still make it. Hang on, Chief, I'm coming! 40 minutes till the trial starts and I'm half an hour away. I've got the shakes, my body aches, my hair's in disarray. But I stayed up all night reading files so I know what I'm gonna say. I'm secure and I'm sure I'll endure on this August day. Today's the day I'll need to prove I'm the best. And the world is watching my inaugural test. But am I truly prepared? If pressed, I'd confess I'm a bit stressed and scared. Can I bring justice to light? Can I fight? I'll try, and if I don't cry, then I'll do alright. I can hope and dream and pray that I'll win on this August day. 15 minutes left to go, I'm running short on time. My head is spinning and tint on wet and I'm sweating like a swine. I have to help the people here, I know where I belong. The unity of the community will stay strong. Whoa, excuse me.
See that guy running like he's in some race.
Pardon me, sorry.
Spiky-haired jerk, he almost ran through me.
Watch out!
I think he's part of that big murder case.
Sure looks guilty to me.
Today's the day my paycheck comes in the mail.
You won't need to borrow bus fare from the guys in jail.
That's right.
10 minutes left till class starts. Bless.
So let's battle now for the samurai
Alright,
girl.
Phoenix, you got this.
Paper, rock, scissors, go!
Scissors beats paper.
No, 2 out of 3, let's try again. And this time there's no way I won't win.
To the lender for the first, for your dog, another day, another buck, another battle luck. Maggie,
Yes?
I gotta say there's something on my mind.
What?
I mean, you look nice today.
Thanks, how kind. Well, on that note, I've got something that I'd like to confess.
Yes?
These new glasses were a present from my boyfriend. He's the best.
Will this phoenix take flight off the ground? I'll soar with glory, my story will be renowned. Now let's get this trial underway. My courtroom premiere,
Last time.
I will persevere.
1, 2, 3, go!
I'm here on this clear August day.
Sorry, Chief. It's just the alarm didn't.
Sorry doesn't cut it. It's bad enough your first case is a murder trial. You don't need to add a bad impression on top of that.
I really blew it, didn't I? What am I gonna do?
Calm down. You're here now. That's what counts.
I know, but Chief, it's the defendant, our client. We were friends back in school, and he was always kind of unlucky. As we used to say, when something smells, it's usually the butts.
Butts.
Larry Butts. B-U-T-Z. Butts. That's his name.
That's unfortunate.
Guilty! Lock me up and never let me go! I'm a murderer! Give me the death sentence and send me to the hell where I belong!
Larry, calm down.
Oh, how dark the world looks without my guiding light, Cindy. The apple of my eye. The Cleopatra to my Mark Antony. The Juliet to my Romeo.
Larry, they all died.
You should clear up a few things before court. Mr. Butts, what were you doing the day of the murder?
I went to her apartment, Cindy's, but she wasn't there, so I left.
Was she expecting you?
Well...
You were dumped. Again.
Hey! She didn't dump me! She was just taking a break from me in Paris.
Things get ugly in there, right? Your friend, he clearly has motive for murder, and I hear the prosecution has a key witness. But as long as you believe in your client, everything will be okay. Are you ready, right?
Yes, Mia. I mean, Chief.
Just try to stay focused, okay?
Court is now in session for State versus Box.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
And I am ready. Sorry, that is, the defense is also ready, sir. Your Honor, sir.
This is your first case, Mr. Phoenix, right? For your client's sake, I do hope that you can control your nerves.
Yes.
It's a serious charge.
Yes, Your Honor. For my opening statement, allow me to summarize sorry, that is, summarize these baseless charges. Charges. Our defendant, Mia Fey, that is, Larry Butts' only crime was to be in the wrong place at the right time. Wait, did I do that right? That's,
Get your act together. Friend's freedom depends on you.
Okay. All right. It says right here in our court records autopsy report that our unfortunate victim, Miss Cindy Stone, was killed by blunt force trauma to the head at approximately 4 p.m.
And the murder weapon? Please enlighten us, Prosecutor Beck.
Of course, Your Honor. The prosecution would like to add to the court record this statue of the thinker. It was found next to the body at the scene of the crime. And now the prosecution would like to call a witness who also saw the body at the scene of the crime. Mr. Frank saw it. Mr. Solid, you were selling papers door to door. Tell us a little bit about what you saw.
Yes, on the day of the murder, I saw that man fleeing the apartment. Of course, I thought it was suspicious, so I checked inside, and there I saw a woman lying on the floor, dead. I tried to call the police, but her phone wasn't working. I had to go to the local park to make the call.
Incidentally, there was a blackout at the time of the murder, so the cordless phone was out.
Mr. Wright, it's time for your cross-examination.
Chief, what can I do against eyewitness testimony?
You've got the evidence in the court record, right? Find a contradiction and raise an objection.
Got it. Wait, do what now?
If your client's innocent, this testimony's fiction. So check your court record for the contradiction. It's time to take control. The story's clearly phony. Present something to poke a hole in the testimony.
I see.
The witness is clearly lying to throw you off your case. So find the contradiction to rub in this month's case. And after you have made your careful selection, present evidence as your aid and yell objection.
So let me get this straight, Mr. Sawit. You looked into the apartment and saw that the woman was dead. How did you know? She may have just been unconscious.
Well, I mean, she was lying completely still on the floor, and there was blood everywhere.
Blood? Everywhere?
It was obvious she was gone. I was too afraid to move. I was completely frozen, in fear. I couldn't even go inside.
He didn't go inside? That's probably the fastest contradiction I ever heard.
Then you've got to point it out, right? What you need to achieve is to grab the court's attention. In order to make them believe, you must create some tension. How dare the witness tell a lie while being on the stand? Look him in the eye and bang your desk loudly with your hand.
Hold it! You say you didn't go inside. How did you know the phone wasn't working?
You see, the phone was on the shelf next to the door. I never went inside. I didn't go any further than the doorway.
You're getting closer, right? Don't let him slither between your fingers.
Like I said, I found her exactly at 1 p.m. Found out her phone didn't work and went to the park to call.
You say you found her dead at 1 o'clock?
You've got it right. Congratulations.
What? I don't understand. This testimony clearly condemns your client.
Give me the chair!
Now this judge is rather old. His hearing's not so fine. He's slowly getting bald. And he needs some kind of sign. So go out on a limb, get his line to linger. Just focus and then point to him with your index finger.
Take that, Mr. Solid. The autopsy report plainly states that the victim's time of death was 4 p.m. Care to explain this 3-hour gap?
I don't understand. I was absolutely sure it was 1 o'clock. 4? That's impossible. I heard the time.
Excuse me? How did you hear the time?
It must have been on the radio. Television show that announced the time.
A TV show? During the blackout?
I must have made some kind of mistake. I remember wrong. You're right. I didn't hear the time. I saw the time on the murder weapon, the clock.
Clock? Witness, the murder weapon was a statue, not
And again, you are wrong, Mr. Wright. The murder weapon is indeed a clock. It says the time allowed. I didn't bring it up because I thought it was an unnecessary detail.
Mr. Wright, it appears your argument is moot. Do you have anything to add?
And at last, this case finally begins to unwind. You know what to do, right?
Let's do it, Chief. The witness is clearly lying to throw me off my case. I'll find a contradiction to rob in his smug face. And after I have made my careful selection, I'll present evidence as my aid and yell, yell, yell. Objection!
You say you knew that this was a clock just by glancing into the apartment, Mr. Solid? Your Honor, the only way for anyone to have known that this was a clock is if they held it in their own hands. In other words, Mr. Solid did indeed enter the apartment.
Look at him sweat.
You held this clock in your hands, didn't you, witness? When you hit her on the head with it. For some reason, it told you the wrong time. 3 hours behind, but you can't get that voice out of your head. The voice that spoke when you killed her was burned into your memory.
But you're forgetting one critical thing, Mr. Attorney.
What?
Unless you can prove that the clock was 3 hours behind on the day of the moida, you don't have a case. Even I know that.
It seems all your little theories, Rookie, were nothing but baseless conjecture.
Mr. Wright, unless you can present further evidence, I cannot allow you to indict this witness.
I take time out of my busy schedule to come down here, and you treat me like a common criminal? You lawyers are all slime. You got this, right, Nick?
Larry, I don't know.
And that, you see, is why they call me the Rookie Killer.
Your Honor, the defense would like to request a brief recess to go over this evidence. A few minutes should be enough time.
Very well. Court is now in recess.